Hello, everyone. How are you? Messenger Christopher X. Welcome back to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show. I want to, of course, let everybody know that I am certainly pleased that the show I just uploaded wasn't taken down. I want everyone to know that I'm well pleased with the reception of YouTube in respect to the job that I'm doing. I want to thank you, YouTube, and I want to thank all of you who are allowing yourselves to contribute to the degree that you have. I am now about to take it up a notch, a little further down the path here of unconsciousness here on our planet. I think it's something that is totally abhorrent, disgusting. It needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed right away. If it isn't addressed right away, you and I are certainly headed for a calamity that will go beyond our wildest imagination. Now, throughout the beginning of the show, I have shown you the best of myself. I have given you an opportunity to know who I am without the fast talking that I'm doing right now, without the learned approach to communicating. I spent a lot of time in a few marketing companies, and I learned a lot while there. So I know the manipulation game very well. So, and by the way, stocks, bonds, all that good stuff, folks, if you can't automate, if you don't have enough money, and this is public knowledge, if you can't automate your company, your business, that means if you cannot turn 99 employees into 2, you might as well forget about attempting to compete in the market, because anyone who is in the market, who does have any stock worthiness, is not going to want to anchor you. They're not going to want to hold on to you. They're going to let you go. All right? You're not worth their time. All right. And why is that? Because these people are the unconscious ones that make $200,000 in 5 seconds. And they don't do anything but oversee the destruction of the planet. Agriculture, the aquaculture, I should say. These shouldn't exist, first of all, and after they got the ability to exist over time. Oh boy, disgusting what you're going to see here in a moment, and I'm very emotional. I've been crying a little bit. I'm just so hurt, and you will be too with what you're going to see here in this clip coming up. I can't even remember what I was thinking. I'm so disturbed. But the people you're going to see harming these animals, they have no heart. They are unconscious. They are blank of compassion. They have no care for honesty, truth, being significant in a true way without being in a masquerade. While you believe these people are moving forward throughout their day, what's actually taking place is these people go from this. Now, you, your mom, your brother, maybe, are walking like this in all bloodlines. You're walking this way, all right? You're standing straight up on your biped. These individuals, now because we're spirits and we're not the body, these individuals instead of walking this way, and remember, you're a spirit and not a body. As is, this is not real. What you call real is not real. What's holding up the planet? Is there a column holding up is there a column up there holding up the ball that is the planet? No, there is not a column holding up the ball that is the planet. But you and I, the camera's sitting on a tripod. I'm sitting on a couch while my body is. And I'm, of course, unseen within it. This is not what you think it is. This is a spiritual reality. You're having a chemical experience in it. And the reality that you're in is your own mind. Outer space is our highest mind. Many gurus throughout time have mentioned this to the multiple generations that have passed through or passed by their eyes. So just to get back to what I was saying in respect to the dysfunction and the disconnection that you and I, not only the people you're going to see, but you and I, myself, I have been the worst of a serial killer, I'm sure. I am a reincarnated being just like you. Now, I'm going to explain to you your electromagnetic conscious spectrum, your Trinity reality, where you are in the Matrix program. It's an immortal life support, electrochemical magnetic immortal life support creation matrix program that we created to sustain our immortal magnetic conversion. You and I'm going to say all of us, not just the black race, although they are the progenitors and the activators, magnetic activators of the fail-safe protocols that now control things. And unfortunately, without the best level of awareness, they're kind of, their oversight sucks. You and I both know that, and they know it themselves. So we're not going to argue about that, because it's a waste of time. And let me get back to the guy that was spinning this way instead of moving forward this way. These people are, instead of moving this way, okay, these individuals are actually moving this way. And throughout their day, while you are thinking, they're right next to you. This is the activity going on inside you at the moment. And what's going on in your mind is that's what's happening. And you're thinking they're going like this, trying to get past you. So here you go. And actually inside, this is them. And they're sitting outside in a dark alley at night, 2 a.m, like this. For fucking 8 hours straight, getting high on crack. Getting high on ice. Getting high on fucking heroin. They're molesting children and fucking screwing animals. They're working in many factories across the world at this moment, and they have no regard for any of the duties they have been paid to do. And as long as they're getting paid, that's all that matters. We are discussing the dysfunctional ones who are not worthy of living on this planet any longer. Now, you people out there, you cannot talk like I can and get away with it. There is only one person that can come and speak truth to power to such a degree that the clouds will burst if they oppose my authority. I'm here for you. My ego is not something that is manifested out of my looks. My looks are a random, pre-programmed genetic mutation. My mom and dad's combined genetics, pre-programmed millions of years ago before I created the body that I'm in and the many bodies I was in before this one. So what the fuck does this one matter? Pila supra chatucabra. Is there an issue? Thank you very much. Now, I'm not here to get you to be my friend. Any of you. Because you don't know how to function, you don't know who you are. So therefore you couldn't know how to function. Although I was born into your bloodline, brothers and sisters, I love you. But I will disregard you in a moment if you're unconscious. From this point on, if you've known me in the past, forget that you've ever known me. You don't do the things that I do, nor do you eat the food that I eat, nor do you think the way that I think. Until you do think the way that I think, leave me alone. You don't want to offend this mission. Back to the individuals moving as if you don't realize they're going this way. These individuals are controlling industries all over the world. And they do not give a hoot about your safe, secure, balanced, stable, sound-minded magnetic passage at this moment. Why? Because they were pre-programmed to literally bring this planet to an end through the process of mass production of materials, chemicals, in this matrix program. They're beautiful ghosts in the machine, here to light the fires, reignite the fire, the proper fire of seventh sensory aware fire of the African diaspora. The individuals to whom are so much needed at the moment to be focused and to be prepared to align themselves. For every life form on this planet is codependent upon us. You and I do not vibrate with a five sensory awareness. Only an animal does. That is a codependent level of awareness. It's very desperate. Because it has no power over how long it lives and dies. Only you and I do. It can't put a satellite up in the air. It can't put a missile system, satellite system. It can't do anything, connect a missile system to a satellite system. Listen, you and I have turned our backs on ourselves. You and I are the individual conscious collective frequency of awareness who activated the fail-safe protocol conscious collective called the European, the Arab, the Asian, and all other races that have come out of the Indian, the and all of the other races that have come out of the African diasporum's genome. There's major suffering going on at this moment as a result. You're the Christ consciousness frequency of awareness called the shining people, the shining ones of old, way before Sumeria, way long before Atlantis, long before the Gilgamesh, 'Gilgamesh' epics, and the Enuma Elish tablets. Long before Genghis Khan, long before any of this bullshit. And you and I were there then, when we decided in genetics that were totally opposite of the ones we're in now, that lasted for 10,000 years and not 50. As a result of the electromagnetic fields of all life that exists symbiotically within this body being, over time, annihilated by the empty, unconscious motherfucker controlling it inside the body. Running through your ferromagnetic bloodstream connected to your eye, grounded, I should say. Listen, you people have a lot more to hear, and I have a lot more to say. I love you all. I'm doing this for you. My ego runs through the backbone of every life form on this planet. And by the way, if you're opposed to anything I'm saying, don't look at my body. I know you've become accustomed to customizing your awareness to what you see in the mirror, your mom and dad's combined genetics. It's a pretty package put together by 73,000 XY chromosomes. However, it's not the person you want to talk to. The one you want to talk to is unseen. And this individual, you cannot defeat. So please, enjoy the show. And remember, you're running out of time. Thank you very much.
The UK is one of the world's largest.
You're going to have to give me a moment. I'm going to take a moment to reset here. Just give me a moment. Yeah, people, it's really disgusting what I see when I look online. After my enlightenment, I had an opportunity to do a lot of research. And all that research, it had to coincide with all of this before I decided to bring it to you. You know, they say when an individual writes that small, they're called a genius. It's a historical fact all over the world. Everywhere, all over the world. And I write, my script is by the millimeters. Totally understandable, totally legible. And am I bragging? No. I don't give a shit about that. I care about what I'm saying. Because it's powered by the truth. And my research has shown me so many unbelievable, disheartening subjects. Things that I have not been a part of in this body, in this life. Like the abuse of an animal. I witnessed a dog, a Labrador Retriever, a big guy, having an M80 shoved into his anus by an individual. I can't remember his name, his first name. His last was Lasco. I can't remember his first name. But this gentleman lit the wick of this M80 and blew this dog in half. And this dog was attempting to crawl away from the explosion. But its behind was laying in back of it on the ground. Now, is this the activity you want on your planet. I want all the religious people who have a desire and have the ingenuity to think from a higher level of awareness and be able to say to someone, hey, that's not the way you do it. Who have the ability to apply the wisdom that they have and fix a human body. Say, hey, that's how you do it. I want all of you people who know that there is something more beyond this physical body that created this situation to realize that you're responsible for your own lives after I talk to you. Because if you don't choose light from this moment on, and that would mean no eating animals, but only protecting them. We'll talk about more why later. It's going to be hard, huh? After having that pork chop on your plate. I know. But guess what? Because you're connected to the Tao, the yin, the yang. Study up on the Tao. Okay? I don't want to talk about it too much. You look it up. I looked it up after the angelic side came and delivered what they did deliver. And everything that they gave me by the ton is absolutely on point. Because you're a part of the Tao, because you created this planet, and because of the fact that there are forces outside of this planet's atmosphere and stratosphere protecting the magnetic field of this planet and protecting the lower conscious life forms on this planet right now had to come to their rescue as a result of our activity over the past few thousand years. You have nowhere to turn at all. Please enjoy the rest of this show. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters. I would like to say praise Jesus to all of you, whether you're a part of any government on this planet. What you have to do is brace yourselves, and oh man. For the future, because the future's not pretty. I can assure you, folks, the future is not pretty. All right? You give me a second. I want to make sure I'm looking at child safety, harmful or dangerous activities, including nudity and sexual suggestive content, violent or graphic content. That's all that's on YouTube, and that's all that's on any site. But you and I, you know, if we're going to see the shit in our houses, and we see a lot of this shit in our houses, we see the torture of not only animals, but we see the torture of our children. We take part in the torture of our children. We are a fucking disgusting people at the moment. But folks, right now we have an opportunity to rebalance. Right now we have an opportunity. And if we don't choose this opportunity, you and I are going to be in an amazing war. One that's going to blow your fucking mind inside out. And trust me, you do not want to come against the forces that sustain, guide, and protect me.
Slaughtered in Queensland's Torres Strait to supply an illegal meat trade. An investigation by 7:30 has found deeply confronting footage that we are about to air. It shows the brutal methods used to hunt the animals, with turtles being butchered alive and dugongs drowned as they're dragged behind boats. The investigation throws into sharp relief the conflict between Indigenous Australians and animal rights activists over traditional hunting, and exposes a black market in animal meat. And a warning, this report by Sarah Dingle and producer Leslie Robinson contains disturbing images and coarse language.
At the northernmost tip of Australia lie the serene...
Fail-safe protocols control all the shores of our world.
The birthplace of native title.
These protocols had to come to stand in place of the African diaspora's magnetically misaligned frequency of conscious awareness. Their control over the planet has been unlawful, cruel, torturous, imbalanced, and extremely flawed at best,
A turtle lies tethered for up to 3
with
days,
no
waiting to
oversight in any of the activities that have been going on by the individuals given permits by these individuals in power, what they call power. You have no power over me or the wind that I will have blow over your asses if you do not listen to me after these words.
Tried to slam it in the head.
No oversight. Every life form on this planet is being savagely tortured. And you and I sit back while it happens and go get high all fucking night long while our children are being savagely abused and fed to us in a pretty package at the supermarket without us knowing who we are. This planet will die. Every life form on this planet carries your lower conscious frequency of awareness.
7.5 minutes.
Folks,
Didn't actually die until they took off the bottom shell. Actually peeled off.
this is about to end.
That one last gasp of air and passed away.
I enjoyed speaking to you.
Using a hidden
I'm going to allow you to view the next half-hour clip
the hunting of sea turtle and dugong, which are both listed as vulnerable to
without any narration.
They go out there.
I've spoken enough.
They're then tied tail to the back of
I ask that every one of you realize
and it can take up to
that I am not here with words I've read in a book.
for that dugong to drown.
I do not see out of the same eyes you do.
for consumption.
And there are eyes that are more powerful than mine that see through the ones that see you.
However, the Native Title Act allows traditional owners to hunt.
They're physically in the skies.
Domestic.
They're spiritually in your air and your
In
atmosphere.
Australia, this
And they do not like to be trifled with,
But in Queensland,
as I've said before.
native title hunting is exempt from animal cruelty laws. Animal rights activists.
If this is what you want to be left with on the planet,
Lawyer Rebecca Smith.
if what you're seeing is okay with you,
Dugong hunt for the Torres Strait Regional Authority.
plan to see your demise very soon.
It's too hard, too prickly, too sensitive. It's often deemed people who are opposed to traditional hunting are often called racist, but there's nothing racist about saying, this is cruel, we'll move on from there, we'll do this humanely now, we've progressed.
Aerial surveys of dugong and turtle numbers are imperfect, and no one knows exactly how many there are. Green sea turtles face an extra pressure. They're by far the turtle species most intensively hunted for their meat. But locals say there are bigger threats for turtle and dugong.
You know, we are under threat from pig predation. One of the biggest rookeries in the southern hemisphere on Cape York, Rain Island, is under threat from climate change, but we seem to be concentrating, I think, far too much on, indigenous people hunting them.
Indigenous people hunting them
Great Barrier Reef is a last stronghold. It's home to the biggest
is
sea
the reason
turtle
why
in the
climate
globe,
change is
and
happening.
one of the world's largest population of dugong.
Without the indigenous people hunting them,
The dugong man,
processing their bodies,
abattoir worker,
we wouldn't have so much
animal rights.
toxic waste flowing through our rivers,
Colin Riddell's
flowing through our
investigations revealed
oceans.
the slaughtered goat
I will
on
talk to you
Friday
guys
itself
later. Go ahead, enjoy the show.
Queensland waters.
Thank you for joining
The
me.
jewels in the crown of
It's time to get down to
We've been
business.
told just last week at this spot, Indigenous hunters chased down and took a green sea turtle in full view of shocked tourists. There's no way of knowing where those hunters came from, but locals say this is a weekly occurrence on this island.
They can be out there a lot, 3, 4, 5 times a week. They come across in quite large tinnies with large outboard motors on board, and they chase the turtles till they're completely and utterly exhausted.
The culture
Yeah.
clash between hunters
A little
and
torture,
tourists
huh? A little
makes it
chasing somebody down,
contagious.
huh? Chasing them down till they're exhausted.
This video was shot 2
My
weeks ago by
friends,
a tourist and
they're already in the air you breathe. Just
it
by
shows
your
an
thinking
altercation
alone.
between a tour boat
You know the
and 3
activity of
indigenous
your
hunters.
thoughts. And then you got the people gonna chase you down. Now ain't that something?
It's not clear what they're hunting for, but there's no mistaking the tensions.
There they go right there. You got the people chasing you down.
Is there
Huh?
a sense
Huh?
in your area that the indigenous hunters are untouchable?
Without a doubt. And they believe they're untouchable.
Absolutely not.
Conservation efforts.
Please don't believe you're untouchable. As a matter of fact, I am the one that's going to make sure you're touched.
Turtle Rehabilitation Centre. It's run on the smell of an oily rag. Here, injured and
Believe me, I would like to warn anyone who feels they may have to take this video down.